I can jump on your head.
demise.
Where's Charlie?
But, you know, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me, it would have just been from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes
it's
on.
Jack-Off toy.
Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not
You
for
weren't talking at all.
That's neither here nor there. Reminds me of one summer day in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. He said to me, what's the significance of the story? I said to him, well, not every story
Wanna go play
has
paintball?
significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once.
Okay, we're on the same
Wasn't
team still,
pretty.
so.
We talked about it for years. And not only that, you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe, thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume, you know? Sometimes, I said, a story is just a story. So just be quiet for 1 second of your life and eat your sandwich, okay? Of course, it was only then I realized I'd made sandwiches. Poor Orville was having such difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, you know? Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday, or rather, they sold it at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks, and then probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday and go feed the ducks. He would buy all of the sourdough bread. Of course, you know, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach and then they all die. And at least that's what I've heard. You know, I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this as well, if you want to feed ducks, or birds, or any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seed.
I think I heard this before.
When you think about it,
You want your juice?
breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I bought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was.
Yeah, I know what that is. I know what it is. Yes, I know what that is. Yes.
Seems that you have met a horrible demise, my friend. But, you know, these things happen. Life goes on.
It's ultimate custom night.
Dead.
Yeah.
But,
Mr.Hippos.
I was having a conversation with my friend Orville. We were
I want some.
with the river. We were sitting by the river and watching the fish leap over the falls. And I said to Orville, you know, sometimes I feel like a fish leaping over and over again, always trying to get somewhere. No, I don't know where, only to find myself in the jaws of a beast. He, of course, looked at me, surprised, you know. Have you been in the jaws of a beast, friend? To which I said, no, of course not, Orville. I said, no. I simply meant that life can seem like a relentless endeavor to overcome meaningless obstacles, only to meet an equally meaningless fate, regardless. To which I asked him, I said, friend, what are you doing? He looked at me very concerned, really. I feel like you've gotten too much sun. Indeed. Indeed I had. He proceeded to pour me a glass of just ice-cold lemonade. Ooh, you ever mix it with iced tea? You do like a little half lemonade, half, ooh, it's so, you should try it somewhere. You can't because you're dead. But anyways, so you may be asking yourself, how did I go from sitting by the falls and drinking lemonade to being wedged in the air duct? Not only with Orville, but with an entire assortment of fruity-colored friends. Well, there's really no good answer to that, but perhaps I met a demise of my own at some point, and this is my afterlife or my dream. Whatever it might mean, I honestly don't know. Or maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all.
Do you mind if I join you?
Let me join the explain it. It's a story. Jeez.
Well,
Okay, you back up.
it seems that your journey has ended. Very sorry about that. It was always going to end this way, of course. If it weren't by me, it would have just been...
You're a
some
sex
other,
offender.
Terrible thing. Just, you could not imagine how terrible it would be. Just, I get scared thinking about it. Glad it's not me.
No, pedo!
Of a time I was
Shut
with
up.
a good friend.
Let her talk.
We were sitting
That's
on
a
a park
him.
bench watching the pitch.
That is not a
That's a dude with a
Excuse
12-inch
me.
cock.
Was I on the right?
I'm
Left?
trying
Shut
to
up!
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
I'm a fucking
shut
girl.
up. Okay.
Pigeons. I said to Orville,
Y'all
"Those
mad.
birds are frozen." And he kind of looked at me like I'd lost
Bang.
my mind. But
Bang,
I
bang.
reminded him that it was winter, you know, and often birds will sit in a tree
Get out of
until they
here.
freeze. Then they sort of fall to the ground
No.
until the sun warms up and they can, move around again. So I said to Orville, you might as well save those breadcrumbs until the birds thaw, because they can't very well enjoy them in the
Yeah,
condition
block
they're in."
me.
To which he asked what I
I'm not
meant,
blocking you.
asking what condition the crumbs should be in before he threw them to the birds, assuming that I meant the birds could
Oh, my
eat them.
bucket.
The breadcrumbs
Give me
in
my
the condition
bucket.
that the crumbs were in,
I hate
when
you.
in fact I had meant
You know
the
what? I don't
birds
need the
could not
bucket.
enjoy them in the condition that the birds were in, considering that the birds were frozen.
Playboy.
So he took a moment and then threw his last handful onto the ground. I said
Give me
to
one of
him,
those waters
"Orville,
and I'll leave."
why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when I just told you they're frozen?" To which he responded, "The breadcrumbs are not frozen." Again, misunderstanding my words. I didn't mean to say that the breadcrumbs were frozen when I said I told you they're frozen. I'd been referring to the birds. In hindsight, what I should have said was, and this would make perfect sense, why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when the birds are frozen? He misunderstood upon my correction, stating that he didn't know what else to do with the breadcrumbs, and that perhaps, when the birds thawed, they'd still be able to eat the crumbs. So I said to Orville, this is what I said to him, I said, "Orville, the birds may be dead."
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh God. Okay.
It seems that you have met your end. What a pity.
Oh my God, Jay.
I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't me, it would have just been one of the others, I guess. I'm honestly just glad to be out of those air ducts.
to Richmond now. Here we go.
It's not easy for a hippopotamus to fit up there.
Yo, Eminem, you
To
thirsty?
get down either.
Yeah, I'm thirsty,
Not
bro.
as young
I'm
as I
thirsty
used to
for
be.
that clout by Dr. Dre, you know what I mean?
To all sorts of things. Young, you're
I'm
vibrant,
thirsty for
have
Dr.
this sort of
Dre, you know what I
happiness.
mean? Say yes.
I'm gonna keep
Reminds me of a
throwing stuff at you
conversation
because you
I
sound
was
like
having with
this
one of
man.
my good friends, Orville. We were having a nice picnic one day.
Hey,
I believe it was summer. No, perhaps it was it the fall? Yes.
Eminem,
it was
come here.
the fall because the leaves had
Are you
turned
gonna kidnap
already.
me, bro?
But I said to
Because, you know,
Orville,
you can't,
I said,
you can't
"Orville,
kidnap
I have a story
chickas
to
and
tell."
shady.
And Orville looked at me.
Okay,
Kind of
you
odd.
sound
and
autistic.
said, "What's it about?" I said to him,
Eminem, will you
"This
follow me,
story has
please?
to be about something, Orville.
Yeah, sure will.
Sometimes a person
All right, just give me my
wants to
trash
talk.
can and let's go.
Everything have to be a story.
All right, follow me.
He just looked at me and he said, "Well, you
Yo,
said you
there's
had a
still one
story."
bottle of beer.
He was quite right. I did, in fact. I told him I had a story. I suppose if a person just wants to talk, then
I'm
it's
trying
best
to
not
do
announce
this
they
to the
tell
camera.
story. Telling a story does come with its own pressures and expectations, I suppose. After all, if you're just talking to a friend, then there's no more expectations than if you were talking into the wind. Words by themselves aren't expected to carry, aren't expected to stick. But if you announce you're telling a story, well then, there'd better be a point to it all, you know? No one wants to sit and listen to someone ramble on and on and on with absolutely no end in sight. So, it's good to be mindful that when you tell someone that you're about to tell a story, that you have something to say. Telling someone that you're going to tell them a story is tantamount to asking them to stop what they're doing and pay attention. In hindsight, I probably just misspoke when I said that I had a story. I think it would have just been better to tell Orville that I wanted to tell him something rather than tell him that I had a story. But even then, it might have put too much importance on the whole thing. Either way, it was quite a nice day. I remember that we were drinking tea.
That's all of his stories. Wonderful, ain't it?